Hello and welcome back. Now in this section we're going to create an inventory system. And so to start off we're going to create a widget for an inventory weapon slot. Now you should have already downloaded this, but if you haven't you're going to need to go to github.com/druidmech and go to the UE4 CPP shooter series. And in the assets folder there's a textures folder and you need to download textures.zip. Now once you've done that, you should extract it to some spot on your computer, and in the textures folder there's an icons folder, and we're going to take the item backgrounds folder. We have these different backgrounds for inventory slots, and we're going to import these into Unreal Engine. So let's go to our _game folder, and in the assets and textures folder we have this icons that we created. Open up icons, and we've got our ammo icons and our circle icon and our star icon. Here we're going to import those item backgrounds. Now just to make this a little bit more organized, let's create a new folder in here, and let's call this backgrounds. Double click that and click add import, and we'll find the icons in our icons folder / item backgrounds, and let's go ahead and import all of these. Now we're going to double click to open these, and for compression settings we're going to select user interface 2D, and we're going to do that for all of them. So here's the gray one, here's the gold one, here's the purple one, and the blue one. So now we have a bunch of different squares with different colors. We're going to use these for the background for inventory slots, and we have different colors that can represent different item rarities. Okay, so let's go back to the icons folder. Let's right click, create a new folder, and let's call this one weapon icons. Double click that, and we're going to import a couple of icons from our textures / icons / weapon icons. Let's select the AR icon 2 and the SMG icon. Go ahead and click open, and now we have these weapon icons. Go ahead and double click and set the compression settings to user interface 2D for both of these. And now that we've just imported a whole bunch of assets and changed them, let's click save all and save selected. So now we have some icons to work with. Alright, now it's time to make the HUD widget for an inventory slot. So let's go ahead and go into our HUD folder, right click and create a new widget blueprint. So in user interface widget blueprint, and we're going to call this weapon slot. Double click to open weapon slot. Let's dock it up at the top here. And for weapon slot, this is going to be a relatively simple widget. We're going to delete the canvas panel. We don't need that. But instead we're going to drag in an overlay. So go ahead and stick the overlay in there. Now for fill screen we're going to set this to custom. And we're going to take this overlay and we're going to add an image to the overlay. So let's go ahead and search for image. Drag that onto the overlay. And let's call this image background image. Now we can set this background image. First let's set the horizontal and vertical alignments to fill. And for the brush, let's go ahead and select one of those icon backgrounds. I'm going to type uncommon, and I'll select uncommon background. And now you can see that we have the uncommon background here. Now let's add a vertical box, because I'm going to want to separate this into sections where I can put information such as the ammo icon and the ammo amount for a particular weapon. So let's go ahead and get a vertical box and drag this onto the overlay just over the background. That way the background is behind the vertical box. Let's name this BG box for background and set it to fill both horizontal and vertical. Now let's add a couple of boxes. They can be horizontal boxes. I'm going to add them onto the BG box. I'm going to call these top box and bottom box. So top box and bottom box. Now for top box, I'm going to set this to fill and put it at 0.7. And for bottom box, I'm going to set it to fill and use 0.3. So now we have a larger section and a lower section. Now for the bottom box, I want 2 more boxes. Now these can be horizontal or vertical because I won't be splitting them up anymore. I'm going to call the first one weapon ammo box. And for the second one, I'm going to call this ammo icon box. I'm going to set weapon ammo box to fill with 0.7, and I'm going to set ammo icon box to fill with 0.3. So now we have a larger bottom left and a smaller bottom right. Now for weapon ammo box, this is going to have text. This is going to have the amount of ammo. So I'm going to put a text here into the weapon ammo box. I'm going to set it to fill, and for horizontal alignment, I'm going to set it to right, and for vertical alignment, I'm going to set it to bottom. Now I'm going to set the font, so let's go ahead and find ourselves a good font. Now I'm going to give it some default text, such as the number 77. And for the size, let's put it down to say 20. Now I'd like to give this a little bit of padding, so I'm going to select BG box, and I'm going to give it some padding such as maybe 5, and that way things are not so close to the border. Now this text, I'm going to call this weapon ammo. Now for the ammo icon box, I'm going to add an image. So let's go ahead and get an image and drag that onto the ammo icon box, and I'm going to call this image ammo icon. Now let's give this a default image, and I'm going to select small ammo. Now notice it's stretched, and that's because we're going to set this to fill, and now it shows up right there in the box. Now we're going to want an icon for the type of weapon. So we're going to add an image just under the background image. So select the background image. We're going to put it right here underneath the background image. So let's drag in an image right underneath the background image, and let's call this image weapon icon. Now set it to fill both horizontal and vertical, and we're going to give this an image. Go ahead and select SMG icon. And that's our SMG icon. Now notice, it's in front of the background image because we put it below it, but it's just underneath the text and the icon because we put it above those items. So this is basically our weapon slot. It has a background, it has a weapon icon, and in front it has a amount for the ammo and a symbol showing us the ammo type. Now, if you don't want this ammo to fill this box completely, you can take this ammo icon box and give it some padding, such as 1 or 2, and that's going to make the icon smaller. I'm going to go ahead and leave this at 0 though, because I'm okay with no padding for that. Okay, go ahead and compile and save this. And this will conclude our video for creating a weapon inventory slot. In the next video, we're going to create a bar of these slots that will be on the bottom right of our screen. So, see you soon.